Assalamu alaikum dear learners. Today we are going to study about clause analysis. Clause analysis is the process of identifying and examining the different parts of a clause to understand how it functions in a sentence. First, let's understand what a clause is. A clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate. Predicate that shows verb. For example, she smiled. She is the subject and smiled over here is a predicate, the verb that shows an action. Components of a clause. Every clause contains a subject and a predicate. Subject, who or what the sentence is about, or you can also say that the doer of action in the sentence, and predicate that the part of a sentence that tells something about the subject. For example, the students complete their assignment. The students is a subject in this clause and completed their assignment is a predicate that is telling us about the subject. Types of clauses. There are two types of clauses, independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause is also known as a main clause. It expresses a complete thought and it can stand alone as a sentence. For example, she sings beautifully. They won the match. Dependent clause. Dependent clause, which is also known as a subordinate clause, it does not express a complete thought and it cannot stand alone. It depends on the main clause to make its meaning clear. For example, because she was tired when the bell rang. These two examples show that they are not making complete thought, they are not giving a complete sense. So they need a main clause to make the meaning clear. Types of dependent clause. There are three main types of dependent clause: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. Each type performs a different function within a sentence. Let's discuss them one by one. Noun clause. A noun clause functions as a noun in a sentence. It can act as a subject, an object, or a complement. For example, what he said was true. In this sentence, the dependent clause what he said acts as the subject. Second example, I know that she is honest. The dependent clause that she is honest is the object of the verb know. Adjective clause. An adjective clause modifies or explains or describes a noun or a pronoun. For example, the boy who won the race is my friend. The book which you lent me is interesting. In the sentence, the boy who won the race is my friend, the clause who won the race describes the noun boy. Adverb clause. An adverb clause modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. It provides information about time, reason, condition, purpose, or contrast. For example, we stayed inside because it was raining. The clause because it was raining explains the reason for staying inside. How to analyze a clause? Clause analysis can be done in three simple steps. First, identify or find the subject and verb. Second, determine the type of the clause, whether it is a noun, adjective, or adverb. Third, explain its function in the sentence. By following these steps, clause analysis can be made easy and systematic. Let's analyze an example. The sentence, I know that she is honest. The clause is that she is honest. Since it acts as the object of the verb know, it is a noun clause. Therefore, its function is to serve as the object of the sentence. Let's review what we have learned. A clause contains a subject and a verb. The three main types are noun clauses, adjective clauses, and adverb clauses. Understanding clause analysis helps us recognize sentence structure and improve our grammar skills. I hope so you have understood the topic well. Have a good day.